Welcome back. I am unapologetically Eric. You can find me on X at Eric Not Sorry or on Facebook at Unapologetically Eric. Oh boy, am I ramped up today, son. All right, just me and the voices in my head, but before I get into this topic, I am discussing the strike, which I know is on a lot of people's minds today, but before I get into that, up front, I'll be open and honest, which I try to be. I am not a fan of unions. I haven't been forever. Ever. If you follow Two Guys, One Campfire, that is a podcast I do with my buddy Ryan. We're on hiatus. We're going to be getting back at it soon. But we did an episode, I think it was last year, because no secret, he works for UPS. And he is a member of the union. There's a union at UPS, and they were threatening a strike as well. And we got into the, twigs and berries of the whole thing. Giggity. And even I said on that episode several times, I am not a fan of unions. I give unions credit for some of the things we have today, because there was a time, probably, 100 years ago or so, where companies and business owners would basically just shit all over their employees. They took advantage of them. I know that there's probably some union expert that'd be like, well, actually, shut up, nerd. So if you had a company that, say, made $10,000 a week profit, and you had 10 employees and everybody was getting paid like, $20 a week, that's kind of bullshit, right? So I get it. You unionize and say, hey, nobody's going to work here unless you start paying us fairly. Okay, fair enough. I understand at the time, and that's great. There's more unsafe work conditions back then. Now we have like OSHA and standards. A lot of shit has changed since the first unions came out. Now, and in my opinion, and I know I'm not alone, oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes, unions cause the cost of everything to fucking skyrocket. Now, back to the conversation I had with Ryan regarding UPS. Again, you can check out the episode. It, I think, is our highest rated one. But some of the things the union was requesting for, by UPS, I said many times in that episode, I did not find egregious. Because oftentimes when a union contract is up, everybody wants raises. Well, duh. I mean, who doesn't like a raise, right? But oftentimes I hear like, oh, we're getting paid, we'll say, I'll pull a number out my ass, $25 an hour, and now we want, 50. And it's like, bro, are you kidding me? Shut up with that nonsense. Get out of here. Or, my copay is $15. I want it to be free at the doctor's. Dude, sit down and just, no. Oftentimes, the requests are just stupid and over the top. When it came to UPS, some of the things that stood out, which I agreed with because, again, they weren't egregious, was, again, I'm pulling numbers out of my butt here. Let's say you worked at UPS for 10 years. And you were making $25 an hour. Okay, cool. New hires were coming in, and they were getting paid, again, pulling numbers out of my butt, we'll say $22 an hour. Well, it's like, wait a minute. You're new. You don't know anything. You have no skills here. Not saying you're not capable, but walking in the door, you don't know how things work, and you're making only $3 less than the person that's been here 10 years? Yeah, that's kind of unfair. I'll agree. I agree. So I have no problem with the existing employees getting, pushed up. Like, hey, you've been here. You should get rewarded. I get it. Fair enough. I agreed with that. Also, those big brown trucks that bring us our wonderful packages, they had no air conditioning. That was one of the things they wanted. I'm like, yeah, I can get behind that too. I wouldn't want to be I don't want to drive my own car 25 minutes home from work when it's 96 degrees out and humid as a motherfucker without my AC on. I couldn't imagine driving a brown truck in the same conditions with no air conditioning. That's crazy talk. So yeah, I I can get behind that too. I can back that too. Fair enough. And I forget, there was a couple other things. But again, I kept emphasizing, I don't like unions, but these requests or demands, whatever you want to call them, I was like, they're not over the top egregious. I don't think that's an unfair request. I can get behind that. With all of this said, the Longshoreman union has now gone on strike. Today is October 1st, and as of midnight, they are on strike. It's I've heard or read 45 to 50,000 people walked off the job. This kind of pisses me off because of the two big sticking points, which I'm going to get into. I don't know what other details have been agreed to. I haven't read about it because I don't give a shit. It does not affect me. What was ironed out regarding, I don't know, health care or vacation time or whatever the fuck. I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care. Their president is a piece of dog shit. What the hell is his name? Let me see. Let me look it up here. Harold Daggett. What an unfortunate name. It rhymes with a certain word that I will refrain from saying, but I know you get my drift. So, before I really get into the nuts and bolts of this, everybody, do you remember freaking out over toilet paper and paper towels just, I don't know, a few years ago? Yeah, shit's about to get worse if this cannot be ironed out. Because back when we had that shortage, it was because of the supply lines and, things not being made. But whenever things did come to our shores, because sadly we do not make anything here basically anymore, we at least had the longshoremen to offload the trucks. And the truckers, of course, to bring them to the stores and so on and yada yada. Albeit limited supplies. But when they came in, people were there to unload. Great. We have the supplies now, and nobody is there to unload them. So if you think a few years ago was a struggle, it was tough, you would go to the store and there was a limit on how much TP you could buy, well, there won't be any TP to buy because nobody is unloading it and giving it to the trucks to drive to the stores. That stopped as of midnight today. So, this is one of the big reasons why I hate unions. When a union has this much power and the ability to fuck over tens of millions of Americans, they are way too big and way too powerful. I don't care if you like what I have to say. Fuck your feelings. I don't care. That is bullshit. That is way too much power for one industry to have. That is ridiculous. And the reason why this really sticks in my craw, again, all right, before I get it, what really sticks in my craw is we have millions of Americans suffering right now because of the hurricane. I covered that yesterday. Give it a listen. We have people that literally lost fucking everything. They need stuff. They need toilet paper and paper towels. They need clothes. They need everything. They've lost everything. And these people are on strike at the behest of this agate person. I don't respect him enough to get his fucking name right. I don't care. At the behest of this piece of shit, these people that are suffering are ultimately, if this does not get resolved, nothing is going to be getting to them. Nothing. Our economy is shit. I've covered that before. Let's face it. It's no secret unless you are a moron. Our economy sucks. Inflation is out of control. The cost of everything is up. Everything from gas to eggs to milk to bread. You fucking name it. Everything is up. The economy's doing great. Shut up, Karen. The economy sucks. Everything's expensive. Gasoline, insurance for everything. And now it's going to get worse because of supply and demand. The supply won't be there. The demand goes up. Guess what? Prices go up. Awesome. Way to fuck us again. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. Now, I do not have any problems with longshoremen or whatever they want to, whatever their job is. I don't have a problem with them getting paid well. I don't. I honestly, I don't. And I'll be completely honest. I don't know what they do. I don't know how their job works because it's not my field. I don't need to know. But I know it's not easy. If you got to be working outside, whether it's 95 or 5 degrees out, it sucks. I know it sucks. It's got to be hard work, obviously. So I don't have a problem with these people making a good living. Now, I went online, because if I read it online, you know it's fact. Yeah. I don't know if it's base salary. I forget what it was. I left my notes somewhere. But it was $81,000 a year. Now, that's pretty good, obviously, depending on where you live. And I'm assuming because of overtime and all that stuff, hazard pay maybe, I don't know, you could earn up to $200,000 a year. That's pretty damn good. If again, depending on where you live. And so again, I don't have a problem with people that put in long hours, work in shitty conditions, being specifically to the weather. I don't have a problem with people making a good living. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. However, when the demand is a 77% increase over 6 years, bro, sit the fuck down. What are you talking? 77% increase over 6 years? 77%. They were offered. Now, I don't know specifically who's dealing against the union, who they're dealing. I don't know. And I don't care. Just get it done. They were offered a 50% increase. And they said, over 6 years, 50% increase in their wage over 6 years. And they said, no, they turned it down. The other big bone of contention is the union wants a ban, an all-out ban on automation. And I guess the counter was a promise to limit automation. Now, okay, what does that exactly entail? I don't know. I don't know the details. But again, that was also shot down. Now, I've seen on social media people going wham because it's automation. Automation it's what it's about. Shut the fuck up. Automation happens. Innovation happens. So because you fear for your job, again, fair enough. I get it. But you are willing to stomp out all innovation because of a job? Go fuck yourself. Innovation and automation happens. It happens. Shout out to all my machinists out there. Friend of mine, Chris, shout out. He's a machinist. I know many machinists. If you don't know anything about machining, that's fine. That's fine. But for a very long time, machinists ran machines such as a VTL, which is a vertical turret lathe, or a regular lathe, drill presses, other types of machines that you had to operate by hand. And then innovation happens. And now those machines still exist. They do. But the amount of people that know how to operate them is now limited because of innovation in the way of CNC machines. They're operated by an operator. They push a button. there's a lot more that goes into it than that. But ultimately, a machinist puts the part in the machine, they bolt it down, they do the fixture, and blah blah blah. But instead of having to turn a crank or what have you, they download a program, they put in some numbers and tweaks and all that stuff. Again, you can't be a dummy to do it. But then you push a button, and the machine takes care of all of it. It selects the tool and drills the hole, and then selects the next tool and machines the surface, and that's innovation. And essentially, it's also automation. When innovation happens, you got two things you can do. Off the top of my head, I can think of two things. You either go the way of the dinosaur, or you adapt. You learn how to do it. So you have two choices. I'm a welder. I'm a TIG welder, more specifically. That means I use both of my hands to do my job. There's also automatic welding machines out there. I don't know how to use them, but if one day TIG welding started getting phased out by automation, I have two choices. Either fucking retire or learn how to work the machine. Now, I know it sucks and it sounds cold and callous, but that's life, people. You know what? Give up the car, because the automobile put the horse and buggy companies out of business. So what? We got to put a ban on cars now. Bring back the horse and buggy. Speaking of cars, look at them. How much automation is done in the auto industry? A lot. Are there still people working on cars? Well, yeah, you still need people to do stuff on the car. But oftentimes, a lot of the resistance welding is done by robots. Again, when it comes to the Longshoreman, I don't know the ins and outs of everything they do. I don't know. Therefore, I can't specifically say what type of jobs could be replaced by robots. I don't know. And I know that if I was one of those individuals that knew my job could be replaced by a robot, yes, I would be nervous about automation. But I'm also not a dummy. I would say, all right, well, what could replace my job? How could I learn to, work one? If it's one of those you got to program it, I would learn how to program, or I would learn how to maintain them. Because if I know this job and I know it inside and out, show me the robot, show me how to maintain it, how to fix it, grease, oil, and all that. I would have to innovate myself. But nope, they want to ban all automation. So they are essentially banning innovation. Well, that's great. That's really, bro. So as I've stated, the economy is shit. Everything is expensive. We've got half the country, or not half, but we have a third of the country under fucking water, where people have lost literally everything. And now they run the chance, and the people that are going there to help these people are running the risk and the chance of not being able to bring them anything. They may show up and just go, hey, this is the last time we're coming, because there's nothing to get. There's nothing left. Which is, again, why I stated in the beginning, when you have a union that has the capability of doing this, they are too fucking strong. They are too big. They are way too powerful. And this president, you piece of fuck, you soprano wannabe motherfucker, he said, and quote, I will cripple you. Oh, really? He clearly does not give a shit about Americans. Now, I know that statement was probably in regards to the people he's dealing with, but really, I will cripple you so you can get a 77% increase in pay and ban automation? Fuck you. I will cripple you? You are a narcissistic, selfish bastard. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you hard in the ass with a gorilla-glued, lubed-up cactus. And then today he has the balls. He has the balls to come out and say something, I'm going to paraphrase, of nobody cared about us until they realized about, they weren't getting stuff. Really? Join the club, dude. Nobody gives a fuck about me or welders unless a bridge collapses or a plane falls out of the sky. Because I work on aerospace parts, so nobody gives a shit about me and my coworkers unless a plane crashes and people fucking die. And then an investigation is done, and hopefully we had nothing to do with what caused that. But nobody gives a shit about us. Nobody gives a shit about wait staff unless the steak was overcooked. Nobody gives a shit about fast food workers unless you forgot my fries. I want an apple pie for free now. Join the club, dude. Tens of millions of people do a job. Nobody gives a shit about them unless something goes haywire. Yeah, join the club. Nobody cares about pilots unless a plane crashes. Nobody cares about the manufacturing system of an automobile until they start bursting into flames randomly. You are not special. You are a piece of dog shit. And to the people that they are dealing with, please, for the love of God, could we all get this fucking ironed out? Oh, wait, that's right. You were willing to pay them a 50% increase over 6 years, and that wasn't fucking good enough. My bad. Oh, yeah, and this piece of shit, Daggett, yeah, he also makes like almost $1 million a year. Yeah, I think I was reading like somewhere like $750K to $900K a year. Wow, that's pretty good. He can afford the increase on all these goods that are now going to be in short supply. He can afford $17 a gallon in gas. He's got the money. He's got a fucking yacht. I was reading he's got a yacht. Again, I read it on the internet, so take it for what it is. But he's making that kind of money. He's making that kind of bread. He can afford it. He can afford $15 a loaf of bread, speaking of bread. He can afford it. Most socialists can. When you have a mentality like this, you're a commie. And fuck commies. You can afford it. He can afford this. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care if the strike goes on for a month and the people in the union that he represents can't afford stuff because things are now starting to get ridiculously expensive because it's also being ridiculously in short supply. He doesn't give a shit. He don't care. He doesn't care about you guys. Newsflash, he doesn't care. He does not care. He doesn't care. So, yeah, that's what's going on right now. Oh, and how widespread? Oh, the entire East Coast. Yeah, like Maine to Texas. That's what affects us. Maine to Texas. Again, I don't know what's involved on what these people do. I don't know. I do know that it's a lot of work outside. And again, it's cold. It's snowy. It's sleety. It's rainy. That sucks. It's hot. It's muggy. It's humid. It's sticky. It's gross. It's dirty. I get it. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. And y'all get paid very well. And I have no problem whatsoever with you guys getting a pay bump. I get it. I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. But I think a 50% increase is pretty good. Can't anybody get to the where are the fucking adults? Where hello? Hello, adults? Are you here? Anybody here? No, there's no adults here. Nobody can sit down and go, okay, we say 50, you say 77. We both say no to those numbers. You know, yours I think is ridiculous, and you think ours is ridiculous. Okay. Well, what's in between? 65, so let's say 60, how about 69? That's a nice number everybody giggles over. It's 69. 69% increase over 6 years. Is that fair? Is that fair enough? Is everybody good? I think that's okay. An okay number. Okay? Can you fucking get back to work? Could you stop fucking Americans? Hard? Really? This is bullshit. Oh, but what about the automation? It's called innovation, bitch. Suck it up. I don't. You're not going to ban it. That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. Again, hand in your car and get a horse and buggy because cars put those people out of business. You know? Sorry. It's what happens. Adapt. Adapt. And it's not like every job at the dock is going to be replaced within 6 months by fucking machines. It doesn't happen that way. It takes a long fucking time. And even then, sometimes it still gets wonky and you still need a person there to straighten shit out. I don't fully understand this. And honestly, I don't care. All I care about is I don't want riots at the store. I don't want to spend $15 for a package of hot dogs. I would like to be able to not use leaves to wipe my asshole. And all the people that are affected by the hurricane, I would like them to be able to get the things that they need. That's what I care about. So I think 69% is pretty 69. I think it's a pretty good pay increase. Could the adults come in the room and sit down and agree on this? I hope genuinely over the next day or two, because there's a lot of outcry over this. I really hope that people can kind of breathe and come to the table like adults, sit down and be fucking realistic. But the problem is, this guy is obviously a greedy bastard. Obviously. Especially with comments like that. He doesn't care who it hurts. He can afford it. He holds all the cards and he knows it, and he's going to use it. He is the reason why this didn't go down. I don't know who's on the other side, but again, this is why I hate unions, because this is bullshit. You have the power to fuck over so many people in this country, and you obviously don't care. Oh, yes, I do care. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. Nobody knew your fucking name until this morning. And now you're liking it. Oh, wait. We did know your name. That's right. Because you were brought up on corruption charges and embezzlement and some other shady dealings. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, people, Google it. Yeah, Google this guy. Yeah, he's got a spectacular record. Yeah, rumored ties to the mob. Yeah, because nobody assumed that the docks were tied with the mafia. Yeah, no. He said that was a bald-faced lie. Yeah, he said that was a lie. And it was racist towards Italians. because the mob doesn't have ties to the docks. Or the garbage, the sanitation industry. Yeah, because that never happened. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Really? Now, I'm not saying he was guilty of anything. He was not found guilty. I don't know if he did or didn't. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he did any shady shit. I'm not saying that because I don't know. But where there's smoke, yeah, you know the rest of that. Yeah, this is kind of fucked up, people. So if you can, don't freak out, man. Don't freak out. Go to the store, get yourself an extra package of TP, maybe a couple bars of soap, some deodorant, essential stuff. Ladies, we know what things you essentially need. Yeah, wink, wink. Go stock up on a couple extras of that stuff, too. Dry goods, canned goods, stock up. Again, don't go crazy. Don't go spending your entire paycheck at, Costco or Walmart or whatever. Don't go fucking nuts. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. But be prepared for if this does not get resolved within a few weeks, this is going to hurt. This is going to really hurt, and it's going to be worse than the shortages a few years ago. So buckle up, Buttercup. Things are about to get fucking wild. Okay, I'm feeling a little better now. And just a quick note. If you listened to yesterday's episode and you are interested in helping people out with hurricane relief and whatnot, listen to that episode. I have information in there. Or, again, follow me on X. I am at Eric Not Sorry. I share a bunch of stuff because there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of hard work, a lot more way harder work than me, getting information out on how you can help, where you can send things, whether it's money or goods. Go check out that episode or find me on X and find that stuff out. So until next time, again, thank you for listening, and keep being you.